Hello, what's up guys, I'm Kyle from KGR, and this is the Nendoroid Patrick Star. Now, when I did the review for the SpongeBob Nendoroid, which by the way you can see the review up there, I was very torn between that and the Super 7 Ultimates because they go for two completely different looks. Super 7 Ultimate being able to do the jellyfishing, while with Nendoroid being a Krusty Krab crew. In the end, I decided to go with the Nendoroid because it looked overall cleaner, and now that both Super 7 Ultimates as well as Nendoroid have Patrick figures, the Patrick Nendoroid right here looks so much cleaner because look at the Super 7 Ultimates. Like, look at all the articulation points they added on there that was completely not necessary and just overall ugly. So yes, the Nendoroid looks so much better. But to be quite honest, he feels a little cheap, mainly because he's like super hollow on the inside. Even on his arms, he's very hollow. But honestly, it's a very good figure. I really like this a lot. But when I first saw this, and I saw him in this pose in particular, I was a little nervous. Because I've been collecting figures for about 10 years or so, more or less. And I noticed with the SH Figuarts Yoshi, with this promo shot right here, you see him with his one hand out and his tongue sticking out. And if you see this shot, you see him with an open hand holding an egg. But that egg is stuck on him. There is no two open hands. So that first promo shot is, like, deceptive. So I've become very cautious, I guess, lack of a better term. So now that I have him in my hands, yes, you can put his arms down. You can even have him wave and do whatever. So that was a huge sigh of relief when I got my hands on this figure. But something I also noticed, this is not intended to be done, but I noticed if you like pop out the eyebrow, you can change the direction of it if you really want to, but the eyebrows as well as the eyes are molded at a certain angle. So if you have the eyes flat like this, you'll see that it's at an angle because of how Patrick's face is molded. So unfortunately, you can't make him look the other way, but my Sonic Nendoroid can't do that either, so I'm not too butthurt about it. But the eyebrows being able to move like that kind of reminded me of like the NECA Crash Bandicoot or even the Nendoroid Crash Bandicoot. It's not meant to do that, but you can mess with it if you want. But overall, the figure looks so clean. So articulation is pretty limited. You just got shoulders, waist, and the hips, or the legs if you want to call it that. So it's just ball pegs. There's nothing too crazy, and it's green on green plastic, so it's not gonna like do any paint transfer or anything, so thank goodness. Except for the little flowers right here. Maybe they might get touched, but I'm not sure. I haven't noticed anything yet. And with the sculpt work, like you see the seam lines obviously because you gotta swap out the faces, but I noticed the seam lines on the arms as well, and they look a little rough. But when you have them on a shelf, like, you're not going to notice it that much. It's fine. It's not ugly. But the figure itself just feels very hollow, and I noticed a lot of Nendoroids becoming very hollow, like especially Knuckles. So I don't understand what happened to the quality of Nendoroids in the past couple of years. But, I mean, they still look great. They just don't feel as great, you know? But this is still by far like the best looking and cleanest looking Patrick figure out there. And of course, with it being an Nendoroid, of course it's going to come with so many different accessories, so let's show that off real quick. So with the accessories right here, obviously the stand is going to be very necessary because as much as I love Patrick, he has little stub feet and he can't stand up by himself. So the stand becomes very necessary, which I don't even know if the Super 7 Ultimates even comes with a stand or not for him. I hope it does. But with these little arms right here, they're meant for this pose in particular, but these aren't like within this little plastic molding here. Like it's like hidden in a little envelope thing under the packaging. So I kind of wish it was all packaged together like this, but to keep the box not looking too big and bulky and ugly, I guess they kept it like this, which it's fine. It's just, I wish the packaging was a little better. Which, speaking of, I love how the back of the box just shows like all three of their houses. It's so cute. Yeah, take a look at this. Like, I'm not gonna take this out as a diorama piece, but this looks so cute and clean. I love that Nendoroids have good backdrops now. But I also genuinely hate when they try to count the back of the box as an accessory. Like, no, you're printing on cardboard that you were gonna do regardless. Don't count that as an accessory. It's cute, but not an accessory. So with the Patrick, we have this, as well as this different face with his teeth gritting, and he has his eyes open like this. Part of me wishes he had normal straight eyes, but this is fine. This is good. I'm just gonna like pour all these out because there's not really a lot here. But then you have different eyes, so you just push that out real easy, and then they just swap out like this, and you have this face right here. I never thought about these eyes on this face. Let's see how that looks real quick, because that probably looks horrible. And while we're at it, let's swap out the arms too. And if you have them laid out all like this and it looks very confusing, thankfully on the pegs or even around the rim themselves sometimes, it'll like tell you which arm goes where. So like this is the right arm. Actually, that looks a lot better than I expected. This actually looks really good. It looks like he's ready to explain about Wumbo or sentence enhancers. But like, the arm doesn't feel like a very snug fit, really. I feel like if he like falls or something like that, like I just did right there, like you see like a nice gap right there, and like it feels a little loose. So again, it kind of makes me question the quality of Nendoroids recently. Like I don't understand what's happening, because my Knuckles Nendoroid just snapped recently, and I'm upset about that. Sure, Good Smile can replace that, no problem, but what happens in 5 years when the Knuckles doesn't get a re-release? But again, it's mostly fine, and just don't shake it too much. But let's put his normal eyes back on real quick, which I guess you don't have to necessarily pop it out from behind. You can just grab from the sides, but I find it easier just to like pop it out from the back, just so you don't struggle or scratch them accidentally. But then you got this arm, which is apparently a left arm, and then you have this right here, and now you have him holding a Krabby Patty. So when SpongeBob is also holding a Krabby Patty, it looks really good next to him. Which, by the way, here they are next to each other. They look so great next to each other. I love them. And then, of course, we're going to go to the face that I make whenever I see something Sonic that is brand new coming out, like the Shadow Nendoroid. I'm very excited for the Shadow Nendoroid. There we go. We got the eager face. But again, like it doesn't hold on firmly. It doesn't firmly grasp it like Patrick asks. So again, it kind of like makes you question the quality of Nendoroids nowadays. Of course, you can like modify it by like adding a layer of like polish or super glue if you really want to. But I'm so used to both Figma and Nendoroid having like nice firm grips. Sometimes death grips, it makes them snap, but like nothing this loose. It makes you question like, yo, like, if the OG's this good, what about a bootleg? Part of me wishes that he also came with Rocky, so it could look good next to Gary, because I know the Super 7 comes with Rocky. And a very small part of me wishes that it like did faces that like gave into the memes, but they have dedicated figures for those, so I'm not gonna worry about it that much. But do I still recommend the Nendoroid Patrick? Like with the issues I have, whether it be like him being loose or being hollow, I would say he's worth picking up on a sale maybe. But still, this is overall like the best Patrick figure we're probably gonna have for a while. Like this is definitely the cleanest one at least. But I think a bigger question is, do I want more SpongeBob Nendoroids? And honestly, I don't think I do. Because with SpongeBob and Patrick, they kinda look really correct when it comes to them being Nendoroid and a little bit stylized. And it doesn't look like that much was done with these guys. But if you add in more characters, like Sandy, you might be able to make it look fine. Mr. Krabs, definitely. But what about the third neighbor? What about Squidward? I feel like Squidward as a Nendoroid would look way too stylized and kind of look out of place in comparison to SpongeBob and Patrick. But I have a feeling they could figure out how to pull it off. But if you want it to actually like look like it belongs, like it might look too lanky and like too skinny and be way too top heavy. So, but again, Nendoroid stands. But I don't know. I don't think I really want any more. I mean, if they make more, I'll buy them. But I don't know how much more I would want outside of just SpongeBob and Patrick. If they made just SpongeBob, I would have been happy. But they made Patrick, and I mean, the quality isn't the best because of the the loosey-goosey. But overall, it's a clean figure. It looks great. So if you're a Patrick fan, you might like this, or you might already have Patrick figures based off memes. But I don't regret picking up this Nendoroid, but it's tough for me to recommend to say buy it now. Wait for a sale. If you get them for like 40 bucks or less, then sure, grab them. But I'm not sure how much I want more when it comes to a bigger SpongeBob line. But that pretty much concludes my review. He's fine. He's good. I like him. I'm happy I bought him. But Nendoroid, you gotta step your game up. But if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description, there's going to be my social media. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I do toy photography there. And also, there's other social media if you want to follow me on that as well. But I want to give a little shout out to one of my viewers, Brandon. I was at Too Many Games, and he recognized me. And we chatted a little bit. It was really awesome. So it was nice meeting you, Brandon. You're pretty cool. But that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So peace, peace.